Hello. Hello. I want to talk about shortages of fertilizers and potentially also shortages of seeds that are reported from different parts of the world and that are everyday tragedy in many poor regions of the world anyway, since decades. And now the good news is that with regenerative agriculture, you can get away from mineral fertilizers, and even you need to get away from them in order to improve soil quality. And you can do so from year one. To learn about these things, you can look into regenerative agriculture, look into the work of the amazing work of Dr. David Johnson in the US. And you can also see my videos on regenerative agriculture. So mineral fertilizers are harming the soil. They are harmful for the groundwater, and they don't make sense at all. So when they are getting scarce because of energy shortages or whatever, that's a good chance to switch to regenerative agriculture. But you need to know how, and you need to get good soil microorganisms implemented in the field. And that can be done by long-term composting. And obviously, this is not done for the next season, but you can collect samples from good soils, including some samples from leaf forests with this rich humus under the trees, and put that into your mix, and then you make an inoculum from that. And with that you can have soil microorganisms brought into the soil, and especially if you bring that in with the seeds, when the seeds are developing, they will find the soil organisms that they need, and mainly soil fungi. So that's the crucial thing, to have all the soil fungi present, and then the ecosystem can develop, and then these the soil life can get nitrogen from the air, phosphate and potassium from also deeper down in the soil, because that's what the fungi, mycorrhiza fungi and others can do. And that's nothing short of mimicking nature, and this is a miracle. So how nature does that is a real miracle, and we can make use of that. And this is something where we will be able to thrive, especially through shortages in mineral fertilizers. Now, one thing that may also be a problem to have shortages of seeds. And as you hopefully know, a lot of seeds have been made seeds that don't reproduce after the first time, hybrid seeds, what is crazy by and in itself, in my point of view. But if you have some seeds, but not that many, you can go to wider spacing. So if you have a field, and normally you would see it, and your grain would be very, very dense. And that has downsides, because the plants are not developing very well. And now, as it is known from SRI rice, you can do very wide spacing, and you will get plants that are developing a lot better, and especially producing roots that are very much deeper. And so they can have access to a lot more water and nutrients down in the soil. And this is a great concept, and this is what is called SRI rice, SRI. We have further developed that to I rice with bean intercropping, and with having a bean in between, the bean will produce the nitrogen for the plant. And that's very successful in the field. And we have videos out there, also in my video channel here. And the same is historically known for rye. Should be possible with wheat as well. And so there were, in old times, very old times, there were people migrating from Finland near the Russian border to Sweden, and they couldn't take much because they had to migrate on their feet. And so they were, it was reported that they brought seeds of rye in a glove, and obviously gloves are not very big, so they didn't have big packs of seeds with them, but they had knowledge, and that was making them thrive even with very little to start with. So in the new regions they settled, they put the grains of the rye far enough apart, and the rye was developing huge plants, and that made enormous yields. And also the plant is improving the soil enormously because it goes deep down, it's loosening the soil. The roots that are dying off, they will be leaving organic matter also deeper down the soil, so the soil becomes forever more sponge-like and holds more water. And in these cultures with this high density, where you need tons of seeds, and you often have a compaction of the soil through the tractor, so the roots cannot go through, even the water cannot sink in, so it will get lost easily because there's no deep spongy soil anymore. And now with having less seeds, you could go for this wider spacing, and make it with caution, obviously. So that needs to be explored on a small scale level, or in a situation of emergency, you may not have the choice. If you go for wider spacing, typically you would have a lot more demand for weeding, because the upside of this dense seeding is that the weeds are suppressed. And what we did with our iRice is that we put the beans in between. And so beans and rice work together very well, synergistically. And now if the, beans would probably also go very well with rye or wheat or other grain. And this is something to explore. And the huge benefit of the beans was not only that they produce the nitrogen for free without fossil fuels, without having to cover all those bills, but the main advantage was that the beans, the bush beans, were covering the ground, shading them so that the weeds couldn't really get through all that easily. And with that we have a good way of producing high yields, improving the soil, having stronger plants that are more resistant to storms, and also probably also they will be stronger against pests. And I really ask those of you who like to research to explore this a bit more. give you comments, and well, spread the word. So this is something what can be really a life-changing practice for many farmers, and especially if shortages are hitting, this would be sort of a good way out. I don't say easy way out, could be, but that has yet to be proven. All right, thank you for your interest. Watch the videos of iRice and also regenerative agriculture in my channel, and also of the inventor of the iRice, Dr. Tafsir Shah from Kashmir. Well, give your contributions and feedback, and apply this, and report about the results. Thank you for your attention, and have a great day.